Hello! Welcome to my channel. My name is Cindy. This is Snacks and Stacks, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone who is subscribed to this channel. I'm so super grateful. I have no idea what I'm doing or if any of this is interesting. So yeah, I'm super grateful, and I'm so happy that at least one or two other people watch my videos. So I wanted to start off this year. I just recorded my November and December wrap up, and now I kind of want to talk about what 2025 is going to look like from this channel. I think it'll be quite different. I was trying a lot of just doing wrap-ups and trying to do other things last year, kind of like copying what other people do just to get a hang of recording and what I might like to do. I feel like for a while I was doing like quantity over the quality of videos I would like. So I'm not sure what this year might entail, but I do know there will be probably less videos. Instead of doing wrap-ups of everything I read and watch, as that can be overwhelming and just a very long video to edit, I might just do like my favorites of the month, and that way I can also include anything that I feel is worth talking about on TV or movies, because right now I go through all my books and then I'm exhausted talking. So, and I also don't take very good notes of what I'm watching because I'm trying to take notes of what I'm reading, and it's just a lot. And I don't want to, like, this year I'm just trying to make sure I'm taking care of myself and my family, and I want to simplify some things. But also I want to be a better video person and learning more about videos, and I don't get to do as much motion graphics in my videos as I would like. So I don't know, we're gonna see what happens, but we're gonna change it up a little bit. I think right now, mainly I will probably have 2 videos a month. One just being like my favorites of that month, and then the other one being like a stack of books or movies or TV shows that I would like to recommend based on like a single topic. And so my first stack is gonna be fantasy wintry books for my recommendations. So here is my stack. I might be missing a couple, but here's my stack. And I have to be missing one, right? I can't even do this right. Hang on. I hope everyone's doing well. Please let me know if you have other wintry books. I think in the winter I really like reading cozy books, but also like I want stuff to be happening, and some of the cozy books are too cozy. Like I feel like that might be more like a fall thing, but in the winter it's like everything is super cold. You're kind of not necessarily stuck inside, but like I want to be inside, and I want to like wrap up in a blanket and read somewhat cozy things, but I also want things to be happening. So that's kind of what my stack is like. I'm missing a book. Here's my stack of fantasy reads that I recommend for winter time. We're just gonna start. I don't think this is in any order. First book, The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshni Chokshi. I think this book is great for anyone who might be interested in like starting a short book, like they want to start the year with a short, whimsical, dark fairy tale to just get their reading eyes wet. I don't know what that would, it's not your feet wet, right? To just get started on your reading list. I know some people like to have a reading goal, and sometimes it's nice to just be able to be like, one is read and done. And I think this nice short book is great for that. What I love about this book and why I think it works in the winter time is that it's mysterious and it's very lyrical. And I think you can basically read it in like a weekend and have all these like vibes. I do think it could also work in the fall because it is like a dark, mysterious vibe. But I think that works for winter as well. And like I said, another great point is that it is short, and the lyricalness of it makes it like easy to just keep going because you kind of want to know what's happening. What is this about? This is about a woman who gets married, and the one thing that she tells her husband, her groom, is to not ask too much about her past. But as things start happening, he can't help but wonder. And I think that's all I can say about this book. On the opposite end, we're actually going to skip to this big guy here so that I can have it off my lap. It's The Priory of the Orange Tree. I read this book in the summer last year and it took me a month. But I read it in pieces, just like slowly going through, and I really enjoyed it. I actually thought it was a bit short near the end. I think the ending could have been a bit longer. Why I'm recommending this for the winter time is because if you're the type to be like me who just wants to stay at home and read all day, I think starting off with like a big chunky book like this would be great because you get to sit there, you get to spend lots of time reading all the world building and all of these different people and places and what they're doing. And it's just like a really nice time right now to go through all of this. I don't necessarily remember this being set place in the winter time. It does span through a lot of time and places and people. So it's not exactly for like a winter setting, but I think as like a good, like I'm hunkering down and hibernating, this is a great story to do that with. The next book is Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. The reason why I'm recommending it is because it's magical realism. And I think in the winter time, for me, as we all, my son and I, my husband does not agree, but we all hope for snow and that little bit of like snow magic. Magical realism, I think, really works for like winter vibes. And this is a YA book, so you know it's shorter and it's a little bit easier to read, and it's actually about the other Mozart. So many of you may know of Wolfgang Mozart, but Marianne Mozart was his sister and was just as talented, but we don't really ever hear about her, at least not as much as her brother. And this book is a book about like all the people in history that we forget because they're women in a way. And so it's about the importance of remembering people. You know, it includes music and growing up. And it's based on this author's research where the two siblings, when they would travel and play music, they made up the Kingdom of Back as like an imaginary place to play in. And yeah, it's very well written. I think it's really important book in a sense of like, books like this I think are important, just to remind us that not everything we learn in our textbooks is the 100% whole truth. And I also have like, I love learning about important women in history that we've kind of forgotten about, because I think it's very cool. So yeah. Oh, and I have this edition that has like silver pages, and I had a different cover, but what I did was I swapped with my friend because I like the dark cover instead of the light cover, which is the original cover. Anyways, so you might not have seen this exact edition, but oh, I actually really wanted to read this note that's from the author, because I think it will kind of explain the story a little bit. So it says, oh, it was an Owl Crate edition that I bought, and I switched the cover of. Dear Owl Crate reader, I've always been drawn to stories about child prodigies. So when I first learned that Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart not only had a sister, but that she too was as talented as he in music, I read everything I could find about her and their childhood together. Her name was Maria Anna Mozart, nicknamed Nannerl, and she and Wolfgang, Wolfroll for short, were inseparable as children. The two, in fact, toured together as a pair of child prodigies managed by their strict father as they performed for the royal courts of Europe. To entertain themselves during long carriage rides, the siblings invented for themselves a magical kingdom they called back. As a writer, I'm haunted by what Nannerl must have felt to have her creativity smothered. What could she have done if she'd given the chance? I hope her story inspires you not only to read more about her, but about others like her that history has forgotten, and I wish you clear roads in the pursuit of your own dreams. Marie Lu. These two have very similar vibes, but they're told in different kind of ways. They are both kind of Slavic in nature, and so like European, Russian area, and they're both very fairy tale-y, folklore-y vibes. We'll start with Naomi Novik's Spinning Silver. This book is in the perspective of at least 3 women, maybe more. It's been a while since I've read this one, but it's mainly about Miriam, and her father is a moneylender, but not a very good one, and so they go without a lot. And Miriam kind of figures out a way to turn silver into gold, which then attracts the attention of the Stark King, and yeah, adventure ensues. I've actually been wanting to reread this book. I just haven't had the time because I am currently reading Bear and the Nightingale in the Winter Night trilogy. So this book, I think everyone can see the Stark King, or at least they know about him and they all believe in him and they all kind of live in the world, in this fantastical world. This book is the fairy tale. Whereas in The Night and the Bear and the Nightingale, we're kind of mixing historical fiction with fantasy in the genre called historical fantasy. This is basically about Vasya and her family, and they are kind of semi-royalty, but they live in like the woods. They live in the forest, and so they are more rural. And even though they are important, they are voyeurs. They are, you know, it's still the medieval times. So Vasya is this young girl who can see the nature spirits. And in this time period, Christianity is on the rise. And so that would make her kind of witchy. And yeah, I don't want to say too much because I'm in the middle of the second book and I don't want to like spill anything or spoil anything for anyone, but it's monsters. I just read the monsters where it's magic. It's got some monsters in here, monstrous type stuff. It's a mix of like slow pace and then like fast pace and then like slow pace. In this one, we basically start before Vasya's born up until Vasya is older. So this one spans a long period of time. And although we follow Vasya, and I think she is the main character, I think it's her whole family, because we're really just exploring this family and what they have to do, because their sister, their daughter, is this courageous, free-spirited girl, and that's not okay in this time period. So yeah, and this and this spinning silver, they're both wintry settings. They're very cold. When I'm reading it, I'm like in my blankets because it's freezing in this book. Everything is furs and snow and frozen eyelashes and all of that. So that is my winter stack of fantasy books that I recommend. If you've ever read any of these or have other recommendations or are excited to read one of these, please let me know. I have to rush now because I think my husband just got home and my dog's making a bunch of noise. But yeah, happy reading, happy snacking. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!